What's up, everybody? It's Brian from USA Cards. Here is the Dallas September 2025 card show review. For me, it was turning a page in my PC. For me, it was finishing up a chapter I've been working on to set myself up for where I want to be moving forward, and how I'm going to shape my collecting moving forward. For me, it was finalizing all the modern stuff that I don't really see fitting into my collection moving forward. And I've been waiting for this show. It's close enough to basketball that I feel like the liquidity was there. Did I sell everything at the top of the market? Maybe not, but I got deals I was happy with. I moved cards that are still really big cards, and I am now fully turned and looking in an entirely different direction. And the flavor of my PC has changed, and the scope of what I'm going to do moving forward has changed. I feel like for the past 6 weeks, I've been selling like crazy. I've been selling a lot of sketches on eBay. I've been moving cards. People are buying them like crazy. And then finally I capped it all off at the show this weekend. And I have really enjoyed that. I like to sell just as much as I like to buy. I do plan on downsizing the market cap of my collection, if you will. I plan on pulling a large chunk of cash out and just putting it into life, and still having way more than I probably need, honestly, in my PC. So being able to do that, man, what a blessing this hot streak has been for me. But enough about that. Let's get into the cards that I did sell. I cleared out all my Lucas. I don't own any more Lucas. I own a Monopoly Money, Black Money, Parallel, Raw. And I own 2 rookies that we took to a game and got signed in person. And that's it. And my Luka collection used to be over $100,000. I really, at one point in my journey, traded most of my stuff into Luka. And slowly I've been piecing his collection down. And I got rid of every single last Luka card that I owned this weekend. I also did the same with Mahomes, and I also did the same with Micah Parsons. Now, obviously Micah Parsons and Luka, for a Dallas collector, aren't going to be the guys that maybe they were set up to be, spending their careers in Dallas and trying to get big things done with their teams, becoming legendary players. That's just not going to happen for either one of them, at least not as Mavericks and Cowboys. So it was just time. It was time to move on. Let's start with Micah first. My Micah's, I had a nice little side. I lost money on Micah for sure, because I bought kind of into the hype. Moved this silver. Nice card, $100, I think is what I got for that. I moved this blue ice, which I really like. I kind of contemplated keeping this just because I love the blue ice card so much. But, I mean, he's a Packer. What am I going to do with this card anymore? So I moved it. And then this was the big boy. Sold this on eBay. Basically got out what I bought it for, minus 80%. eBay is now taking 80, gosh dang, percent. It used to be 85. It's now 80%. It's 13.25%, but that also includes the sales tax. On every single one of my last 10 sales, I averaged them out. Every single one is taking 80% of the total. So I'm paying 20% fees. I just baffles me. So if you can get 85% now at card shows, take it. It's an extra 5% you're not getting at eBay. So moved those. Couple things I moved before we get to the Lucas. I moved my Bryce Youngs. the green scope, and the no huddle blue. And Bryce Young tanked it on Sunday. Awful start. Doesn't mean he's cooked, but just an awful start. So it was nice not to have to sit there on a Sunday afternoon and sweat every one of my cards, right, that I own. Because anymore, man, especially on these young QBs, it can go game to game. So I moved them. I moved some O'Neal Crew, moved all my O'Neal Crews, which, lost on him too. I'd say most of this stuff I lost on, but I didn't lose a significant amount. And it was just time to turn the page. Don't get hung up on having to win every deal. Don't get hung up on having to make money on every deal. I sold this 9.5 as well to Jim at Plus on that. And what I've noticed is that, especially for men Jim 9.5s, they're right there even, and sometimes not even as much as a PSA 9. PSA 9s are as much as 9.5 men Jims right now, and they're going to pass them soon. Also got rid of the last of my Bo Bichette. I had a base first Bowman auto. I had a refractor first Bowman. Those went. Both of those went. What else did I get? Oh, sold the Mahomes. So I sold the 2017 field level. So I own a flawless patch auto of Mahomes, second year. But no more rookies. Of course, I had the gold field select field level, and I moved it before the Super Bowl last year, and then I just moved this silver. So I'm out of the Mahomes game as well. And then looking at the Lucas that I sold, well, let's start here. Moved the Luka Doncic Optic Hollow PSA 10. Moved the Courtside Select Silver PSA 10. I moved the True Blue. Yes, sir, I did. I moved the True Blue BGS 9.5. Gorgeous card, one that I thought about keeping, but in the end, he's a Laker. Too much in that card to keep. I might go back and get something of Luka. I might not. I don't know. But I moved it. I moved my other blues as well. Moved the Contenders Optic auto, which I know that this right here, that's his real auto, because that's exactly how his auto looks on the cards that he signed in person for me. And then I also moved this, the Donruss Optic Blue, which I love that card. Probably one of my favorites of him. And that looks like the Lulu. That does not look like his auto. I wonder if it is. I bet it's his mom's. And that's roughly about it. I mean, like I said, I've sold so much lately online, and then capped it off here at the card show that it's been a whirlwind, but it's been fun. So let's look at what I did get. We'll talk about it. Last card is pretty interesting, so stick around. But the reason I wrote Turning a Page is just because I'm getting out of the ultramodern. And one of the things that I'm doing as I'm going back in time into the early aughts, the late 90s, and beyond is I want to get playing year cards. So I want cards of players from the years in which they're actually still in their careers and still on the field. Like I would have no reason to get a 2023 Randy Moss or a 2019 Dirk Nowitzki because his last year in Dallas was 2018. So I'm just going to really try to stick to playing years only, and I'm emphasizing stuff from the 90s and beyond. Let's look at, these are going to be Dallas pickups right here. So this, of course, is just a very clean, very, I just love these Topps Chrome refractor football, baseball, basketball, anything Topps Chrome. The refractors are just gorgeous. So I picked this up, Aaron Rodgers. Also picked up this Marvin Harrison Atomic refractor. Just a really cool card, cheap, $20. Not numbered, but he was a great receiver. Manning's target for many years, and the Atomic Bowman. I love late '90s Bowman's Best. Bowman's Best is not what it is today. Bowman's Best used to be, to me, one of the most premier and beautiful sets. Today, it just feels like a throw-in for baseball. It's just another money grab. But basketball and football, Bowman's Best, in baseball, late 90s, some of the coolest parallels, some of the coolest designs. Picked up this refractor with coating, Dion. Finest, love Dion, love coating. Picked up this Finest Moments, no coating on this one, but gorgeous card, refractor. 99 AL MVP, Pudge Rodriguez, best player in the league that year, and this was like $7. I think I threw this in. Almost ended up being a freebie in a deal that I did, but yeah, it's just a cool card. Kind of capturing a moment that, highlights the career that he had. And in '99, he was as good as it gets. Also picked up this school colors. I wanted something for Bobby Witt from his high school because his high school is right down the road. We've played on that field. My son and I have played on that field. So he's in his uniform here. It's a Contenders draft pick. It's out of 15, 12 out of 15. I think it was like $30, but it's just cool. And it has him in his uniform from high school, and that's kind of, I wanted something from that, so I picked that up. And then these are the slabs that I've been picking up. Decided to focus a little bit on TO. I have a Randy Moss PC, and I decided to expand. Randy's is universally the number 2 guy, and statistically the number 2 guy, wide receiver wise. And then Terrell is number 3. Love the 99 Finest Golds. And a friend of mine had this, and I paid over comps, but didn't mind because it's exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for in my collection. It's color match for the gold 49ers as well. So that kind of launched me. It's out of 100 deckled edge. It kind of launched me into the TO side of things. So I'm expanding my receiver collection. And it's not that I typically target receivers. I like electric guys, like the Dions, the punt returners. I like Devin Hester. I might try to grab a cool Devin Hester rookie at some point. But anybody that was electric, T.O., my God, was he electric. So happy to add that. Then I went... Sorry, my dogs. Then I kind of went shopping for other cool T.O. cards. And when I'm telling you that the Bowman's Best from the late 90s was just unbelievable. Look at this. This is a refractor. Look how gorgeous this is. Now it's numbered out of 400. Where's the number? Right here. Right there. You can see it. Numbered out of 400. It looks like it's lighting up the way they etched around the player. It's just so cool. It was like $50, I think, for this. But those are the 2 TOs that I have so far. And I'll continue just to keep my eyes out for cool TO cards. Again, only playing years. He was playing in '99. So, and then this was a bigger one that I got. So this is my first Jerry pickup. And I found this at the show. And it was a little pricey. I think I paid $600. You just never see these centered. And this one is as centered as it gets, top to bottom, left to right. It's just gorgeous. It's a Pop 6. Back when refractors were really something to behold, something special. I love that era. I love when the silver refractor means something. And although I'm typically not someone that wants to chase condition in these cards, I saw this and I hadn't made a purchase at the show yet. This was kind of my first one. And so I was just thrilled to get this. And, I kind of broke the ice with this purchase. I forgot to mention, I did take another box of I guess like cards that were in card savers. So cards like these, but these are ones I'm keeping. But they were cards like this, and they were just cards that were good. But I went through and I really just pared down all of my card saver collection into cards that I want to keep, and I got rid of 325 some odd cards like this, where some were refractors, a lot of rookies. Anyway, I went to Card Sharks. He's taken all my bulk. He gave me, I think, $600 for the box. He'll probably make some money on that. But man, to be able to go there, show him the box. He said 5, I said 6, and it was done in a matter of 3 or 4 minutes. And I dropped the box off with him. He's got it. Don't have to carry. It's the first place I go to at the show when I have bulk like that. So I can't say enough good things about Card Sharks. But so I had sold everything by Sunday morning, and on Sunday morning I went to a table. I went to Ash's table. If you're vintage guys, you know who I'm talking about. He's the guy who had all his cards stolen from the card show last year, the 2 million or whatever. Good guy. He had a card that I wanted to put some of the capital that I had sitting in cash from my Luca sales. I wanted to buy something that I could hold and then, just kind of play the slow game with it, get out of the up and down of the ultra modern sports card hobby where cards go up and down day to day, game to game, season to season, and into a more stable card. And so this is what I picked up. The 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle, such an iconic card. I keep looking at this card and it doesn't look real to me. I used to have an archives reprint of this, and that's what this looks like to me. Look at the cittering on this thing. It's just gorgeous. It's a little off top to bottom, but I think if there was, it's a 6, right? So it's not a 7 or an 8, or it's centered left to right though. Pretty much 50-50. And so you really can't almost tell where the white border starts and stops on the bottom. But the story on this card, why I chose this card, is because, and I'm not turning into a vintage guy. I mean, I love Mickey Mantle, and I might pick up another, couple Mantles, or I might get a Hank Aaron rookie. Who knows what I might do? But this isn't a pivot away from modern into vintage. This is a one-stop shop pickup here, because Mickey Mantle is special to me because he played against my grandfather. And I'll read this to you. Down here it says, Mickey also set a new Yankee record and led the league with 111 strikeouts. He broke in as a shortstop in 49, hit 383 for Joplin in 50, and split the 51 season between the Yankees and Kansas City. Joplin, Missouri, where I was born, where my grandfather was in 1950, probably 19, 20 years old, pitching an independent ball against Mickey Mantle. And the story is Mickey Mantle hit one over the river on him. Mickey was playing in a league in Joplin that the players were hosted by families in town. And my grandfather was, his father was a well-known CPA accountant in Joplin. And so they didn't host, my family didn't host any players, but my grandmother and grandfather kind of ran in those circles. And so of the families that did host players. And so this legend goes, in my family, there was a party, and it was thrown by a host family. And my grandmother and her sisters went to the party. Mickey Mantle was there, and Mickey Mantle liked my grandmother's oldest sister, and struck up a conversation. They were talking, and I guess she thought he was too young for her and tried to pawn her off on my grandmother, who was the baby of the sisters. And clearly it did not turn into him being my grandfather, but it's a cool story nonetheless. And Joplin's mentioned on the back of this card, it just makes a million. There's just a million. It makes it's just a card that makes a lot of sense for me. Has a lot of connections besides just being one of the most iconic cards in the hobby. So super happy to have picked that up. Happy to have kind of gotten off the Lucas stuff. Was happy with what I brought back. Happy to find some cool cards at the show, and really happy to get my collection nice and sharpened moving forward. I've gotten rid of a lot. I've trimmed a lot of fat. So it's a new era. It's a turning of the new page. It's a new chapter. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you think. You like the mantle? Would you have kept the Lucas? Let me know. See you guys. Bye.